Hello everyone, thank you for having me here. I'm Dinda Nur Ardilla and I will present the result of our research radio media morphosis in the digital age, case study on private radios in East Java joined in Express Radio. This research was compiled by Midinda, Mr. Andri Rahmanto, and Mr. Sudarmo. We are from the Department of Communication Science, 11 Maret University, Indonesia. The background of this research stems from the policy of the government of the Republic of Indonesia through the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, which stopped broadcasting analog television starting in the middle of this year. The cessation of analog TV broadcast carried on a large scale by the government of Indonesia has become a threat signal for other broadcast media such as radio. The discourse of switching to digital broadcasting began to surface in recent years. However, the transition to digital radio was not an easy. In addition to having to replace the equipment used, also the skills of human resource in managing it. Radio competition is not only limited to mass media such as TV, newspapers, or online media, but also with other alternative media such as social media, which is currently more favored by the people of Indonesia. So to deal with this, media convergence can be one strategy in the midst of increasingly the competition. Moreover, media convergence considered cheaper than having to invest to keep up with changes in digital broadcast radio using DRM or DAB. Building a more lively and attractive radio image is an effort that is present in an application called X-Space Radio. The X-Space Radio application is not only a media that is exclusive as a broadcast radio entity, but also developed into a radio grouping platform that broadcasts visually. There are 9 visual radio stations in East Java that have collaborated on Express Radio. All of these radio are also still broadcasting on the FM radio platform, so the broadcast concept becomes hybrid broadcast, namely on FM and visual radio applications. And next, literature review that we use in this research. The first is radio in the digital age. Radio as one of the conventional media needs to convergence with new media in order to continue to survive in the digital era. One of them is by maximizing social media in supporting broadcast programs and in the realm of business. Of course, without losing its characteristics and advantages as an auditive media, such as personal relationship, intimate medium, the content is more diverse and attached to two-way communication. And then, convergence in media morphosis theory by Roger Fidler. In the theory expressed by Roger Fidler, media morphosis is a transformation of communication media that occurs due to the complicated interplay of various things, starting from needs, competitive and political pressures, as well as social and technological innovations. One of the concepts in this media morphosis is convergence. Broadly speaking, is the unification of various technologies and forms of media that are present simultaneously. This convergence will eventually lead to the forms known as multimedia communication. The forms of media that exist today are the result of countless small-scale convergences, which often occur over time. Convergence is more like crossing over or mating, which result in the transformation of each of the entities that meet and the creation of new entity. The research method, the qualitative approach with the type of case study research. If it's related to this research, the radio visuals present in Express Radio are still contemporary because this phenomenon has the opportunity for other auditive radios to be transformed into visual radio. The process of transitioning private radio in East Java into Express Radio is still ongoing. And next, the result and discussion. Media convergence becomes a necessity in the digital age for conventional radio. Media convergence is something that cannot be avoided by conventional media, especially the emergence of the internet brought a big impact in the mass media industry. With digitalization, people's patterns of consuming media automatically change. Digitalization in all aspects of people's life, changing the radio business platform, radio program platform, radio content platform, which in the end also disrupt. People have started to listen less to the radio because the time is starting to be defined on new media. This phenomenon makes conventional mass media have to do convergence with new media so as not to be abandoned by the audience. This is also reflected in the 9 private radio stations in East Java that are members of Express Radio. There are combined conventional radio and the internet, as well as forms of audio and visual media. Thus, the broadcast on these 9 radios can not only be heard but also watched. In addition, this broadcast can be listened to on terrestrial channels or FM channels, but can also be accessed on the Express Radio website or online application. And then the right mix of platforms and interesting content is key to radio. Radio as a mass media that is sold is its influence to the public. This means how many audience and how strong the influence program content or product is the main key to have maximum influence and role in society. Radio must proceed properly in order to have an influence on the audience. If radio is limited in ability or quality and does not have special features, it will become the umpteenth choice of media for the community. Moreover, the tendency of people today to choose what is popular and the easiest, the audience actually chooses which one is best for them according to their size. So, radio content must create attraction and dependence on the audience according to its segmentation and format. In general, radio must continue to be creative, innovate, and find new ideas, whether it's in terms of content or product or technology that is most suitable for the audience. When radio has the power to create dependence, people will be with it. And the last, visual radio still has different characteristics from TV. Another concern that some people have regarding the presence of visual radio is considered to be no different from television. However, from the result of this study, 9 private radio stations in East Java that are members of Express Radio and broadcast visually still carry the characteristics of radio, where elements such as simplicity and personal closeness are still present in visual radio. Product, content, and presentation are different from TV, even though radio is transformed into visual. Even the audience can still interact directly with broadcasters through face-to-face from the previous one via voice. Regarding the production process, it is also much more economical on visual radio, in contrast to expensive TV because TV broadcasts are very complex and involve more people, while broadcasts on visual radio are actually broadcasting activities as usual that are visualized. And again, the real limit of radio is only in creativity. So there needs to be a willingness from human resource give more effort to enrich radio visuals. Finally, we come to the conclusion and recommendation. Radio visual transformation is carried out by private radio stations in East Java to address the needs of the public and the client. In its application, there is a change in perspective on radio which can not only be enjoyed auditively but also visually. The advantages of visual radio can reach a wider range and the information conveyed is more attractive, while the weaknesses are more in terms of technical and human resource. Although radio has been transformed, it does not eliminate the essence or characteristic of radio. Recommendation for radio managers to continue to upgrade capabilities personally and openly with technological changes. In addition, it can continue to provide innovation so that people can continue to choose radio in the future. Thank you.